Hello, my friends. Hello, hello, hello. This is Jason Lanier here coming to you live from Washington, D.C. Um, First off, let me just state a few things for those who don't know. Let me move the sliding a little bit. Nah, that's good right there. It's good enough. I have covered, this is the fourth inauguration that I've covered. So I want to get that out of the way. A lot of folks know me for portrait photographer, fashion workshops, and for weddings. And what some people don't know is that I have done a lot of photojournalistic work, and I've done that for quite some time. I've done documentaries in Ethiopia, I've done documentaries on COVID, and I have done the last four inaugurations. Now, this is my fourth, I should say. So I've done three, and this is my fourth. I became a professional photographer back at this. Thank you. I became a professional photographer 13, almost 14 years ago. And that coincided with with Obama being elected, so on and so forth. And as a huge history buff, I always found it fascinating to document history. And so I decided 13 years ago that I was going to do all of the inaugurations, regardless of who wins. So I just wanted to put that out there because anytime I do the inauguration, people think if Trump wins, oh, I'm a raging conservative, and people think if Obama or Biden wins, then I'm a raging liberal. I'm not here for those purposes. I'm here to document what happens. We certainly have more than enough bullcrap going on between all of the networks as to what goes on. I've never found myself living in a time where there's more propaganda than we have now. I really just believe that the propaganda machine is just absolutely insane. So I'm out here now, and it's everybody's terrified. There's 25,000 troops. They are everywhere, and when I mean they're everywhere, I mean they're everywhere. The troops are everywhere. As a good red-blooded American, I'm actually that's all you hear. That's all. You hear the sirens? That's all you hear out here. As a red-blooded American, I am very sad at the state of our country right now. The first Obama 2008 inauguration that I did, it was a very jubilant affair. Whether or not you love Obama or not, the actual feeling in the atmosphere was very very jubilant. It was a party. Literally, we had Bono playing in the National Mall, and I can still remember walking through the National Mall down by the Lincoln Monument and hearing, or Lincoln Memorial, and hearing "It's a Beautiful Day" playing, and it's just this crazy surreal feeling. So Obama's first inauguration was very much a party atmosphere, despite the fact that it was bitter cold. Fast forward to Obama's second inauguration, it was much less of an affair. It was a significant drop off in the amount of people that attended Obama's second inauguration, but it was still some protesters and stuff, but it was still, for the most part, a very peaceful affair. Trump's inauguration 4 years ago was insane. And if you guys doubt me on this, these videos are on my YouTube channel. This is something that was not reported at all. It shocked me when I did Trump's inauguration. The anti-Trump people blocked the entrance to the National Mall because in order to get into one of these inaugurations, if you don't have a press pass, you have to go through security. And once you enter security, then once you get through security, then you can be on the National Mall and you can watch the inauguration. That's how it works. I made a concerted a decision, I should say, very clear decision when I started doing this. There's so many people out there who get the shot of with the 400 or the 600 millimeter lens of the incoming president, swearing in, blah blah blah. I've always tried to take a different approach with my inauguration documentation, and that I've always tried to do it from the perspective of what do the people see, what do the people experience, what's it like out here for the normal person, and that's the way I've always tried to document it. So Trump's was nuts. Once you got past the crazies who were blocking the entrance, And I'll call you crazy if you're left or right. If you act crazy, I'm gonna freaking call you crazy. They were crazy. You do not have a right to block an entrance for legal access for people to get into an inauguration. That's lawlessness. It's absolute lawlessness. Okay, so that was, and then this is on my YouTube channel. After the inauguration, these jackasses set fire to the city. Literally, they set cars on fire. You want to talk about terrorists? These jackasses set cars on fire. They burned the flag, which I do not agree with. And then they just acted like terrorists. So that dissipated. Trump's been president 4 years. I don't need to go through. This isn't a Trump rally and it's not a Biden rally. Okay. That's not the way I handle these things. I'm here to document what I see. That's the F-bomb slip. You're right. And that's the end of the story for me. I'm not here to tell you whether or not Biden blows and he's senile, or if Trump's a lunatic. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to document and tell you and to share what I see and experience, because the news, they're liars. Now, I'm not saying that I'm the one all news source for people out there. I'm not. What I'm saying is I do this because I personally want to know what's happening. And luckily I have the ability to travel and I have the ability to do these things. And that's why I'm out here. So fast forward to, we go through Trump's presidency. We've gone through this incredible, crazy, just lunacy of 2020. And I have no problem saying, again, guys, I'm just going to call a spade a spade. If you're a terrorist, you're a terrorist. Okay. If you're committing lawless acts, if you're breaking into places, if you're committing arson, if you're committing assault, you're a terrorist. Okay. If you're terrorizing other people, that is a damn freaking terrorist. So I have been in Portland and covered the terrorists. I have been at certain other rallies and covered the terrorists. I've also been in these places in 2020 and cover the peaceful protesters, because there is a distinction between those two groups of people. So I have a lot of experience doing this, especially with 2020, because 2020 was off the charts insane. So that brings me to where I'm at today. I am sitting here. I'm in DC. Okay. First thing that was really funny is when I got to DC, I'm at a hotel that is about 0.7 miles from the Capitol. So I always get a hotel that's right in the heart of it, because when stuff goes down, your boy wants to be there. Okay. Like when Trump stuff went down, setting car bombs, fires, blah, 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 all those damn freaking terrorists. I was down there and I was able to get down there. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm in the middle of the fray. So in years past, you could easily access the city. Well, this time it's insane, because you come down here. I got into the airport and I just take a taxi, and I'm not going to mess with renting a car. It's 60 freaking bucks a day just to park. So screw that. I'm here in the city. And so I come down, I get out of the airport, got in this afternoon, went to the taxi, and I'm like, yo, I need to go. Here's my hotel. And he's like, we can't go down there. I said, sure you can. He says, no, you can't. I said, sure we can. No, you can't. Back and forth. I said, how much money is it going to take? Because I believe in you. I know you can take me down to that hotel. He's like, there's military everywhere. I said, we'll sweet talk our way in. He says, you're going to sweet talk your way in. I said, I'll figure it out, or you're going to drop my butt off somewhere and I'm going to walk the rest of the way. But I'm not taking a damn freaking train into the city. I got too much stuff. So luckily, I talked that guy into it. Again, valuable weapon right here, the mouth. I talked that guy in it, and money helps too. I talked that guy into taking me from the airport down here. And then as we're getting close, there's cops and stuff. I start sweet talking them. And I flashed my press badge and they let me in, which was really cool. So I get to the hotel, park. I didn't park. Get to the hotel, get out, check in, blah, blah, blah. Get out. I start walking the city. Guys, this place is ghost town. It's creepy, okay? And again, this has nothing to do with, I don't care which way you lean, left or right. If Trump had won and this stuff was going on, I would say it to you guys. And you'll see this. You keep following me. I'm going to do this every 4 years, regardless of who wins. So this place feels like death, okay? It's scary. It's quiet. It's eerily quiet. The only thing you hear are sirens. The streets are empty. If you guys remember my documentary from COVID during New York City, during April, during the peak of COVID, when it was empty, that's the way this place feels. But it's exacerbated 10 times by the creep factor of 25,000 National Guard troops. Do you guys know what it's like? The only time in my life I've ever experienced that level of, wow, this is weird. 2 times, I should say. When I went to Ethiopia, and you go to check into hotels in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, and they have freaking AK-47s. That's legit the truth. The other time that is really creepy is when I was in Honduras. Honduras is creepy as hell. Okay, when you go to Honduras, when you go into shopping malls, they have guys there with loaded live safeties off shotguns. Straight up. Honduras is crazy. Okay. So fast forward now, I'm sitting here in DC. We got every guardsman is packing heat. They are packing tons of guns. They're in full riot gear. They've got everything going on. It's crazy. And I'm like, is this freaking America? I can't believe this. And the really interesting thing is it's not just every street, every alleyway, every possible access point is blocked by a big effing Hummer or a Humvee or whatever you think a Humvee is on triple steroids. They got them. They are huge ass trucks and they're blocking everything. So the funniest thing is, and I have a selfie to prove it, I'm walking down the street past, and I always walk wherever I think I can get away with, and just hope that I get away with it. And so I'm walking down the streets today, and the funny thing is, I have the little A6500 and the Tamron 70 lens, 17 to 70 lens. But when I hold it, it looks like a gun. Because of course I don't use a camera strap. So I'm walking down the guard, and guys, the whole city is walled off. The whole city is walled off. It's insane. Okay, you cannot access the city at all. They have the guards, the National Guard, then they have the police, then the National Guard, and then they have walls. And you feel like, oh my gosh, they have cut off access to us as citizens of this country. Well, what about our right to peaceful assembly? It blows my mind. Anyway, so I'm walking down, and then a guy goes, "Yo, Jason." I'm like, oh, somebody knows me. And he comes up, he goes, "Do you remember me?" I'm like, dude, I shot your wedding. I shot this cat's wedding 12 years ago, and I remember he and his wife's name. We had a great conversation. He told me how insane it is around here. It's creepy. It's creepy. I'm telling you guys, that's why I love doing this. It's why I love being in a place like this, because I want to see it for myself. One of the main reasons I do this photojournalism type work is I love knowing firsthand what happened. Nobody can tell me about Portland protests. Nobody can tell me about the Reopen protests. Nobody can tell me about being in New York City during the middle of the height of COVID in New York City. Nobody can tell me what that feels like better than I know what it feels like. And that's why I love this. And that's why I love photography. And when I hear photographers say, oh, stay home, it's not safe. Are you insane? Do your freaking job. I can't believe it. So at any rate, I am very excited to share this with you guys. If stuff goes down, I promise you, if stuff goes down, I will be, if humanly possible, I will be in the middle of it. The problem is in the way that it's configured now. So I am northwest of the Capitol building right now. So depending on the parade route and everything else, if something goes down on the other side of the National Mall, I wouldn't be able to get to it because you literally have to walk around the entire perimeter, which would take you, because you can't Uber, you can't taxi, you can't do anything. Do you guys understand? There's no transportation down here. It's crazy. they've blocked off the streets. They've blocked off the access. Um, it's absolutely mind-boggling. And I will say this: the National Guardsmen were very polite. All of them that I spoke with, um, and it's just something that I wish that everybody could experience. I'm not saying if you're scared of this or whatever, you shouldn't come and experience it, but you should know what's going on in your country. Whether you live in America or wherever you live, you should know what's going on in your place of residence. It's scary, guys. Again, it doesn't matter who wins, but when you have the inauguration of a president occurring, and in said inauguration, they've blocked off access to the public. They've surrounded the palace, because that's what the White House is. They've surrounded the palace with 25,000. You guys realize that that's more troops than we have in Iraq and Afghanistan, at least combined? They've surrounded our capital with an army. When you think about it, it's pretty mind-blowing. And not only an army, but they've surrounded it with a fence. So we have a fence. It blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind to be witnessing this. And I don't know what's going to happen. Now, I'm going to be the first one to tell you, look, if they have a legitimate security concern, then you need to address that security concern. But I mean, I don't understand if this is supposed to be a virtual inauguration, why they're so worried about. I don't get it. And I get it. People are going to say, well, look at what happened to the Capitol 2 weeks ago. That was a planned protest. That was a planned protest where a few people went crazy. Just like when I was in other places. I was in LA, I was in San Diego, I was in Denver. There's a lot of places I went where there was BLM protests, and the majority of the people doing those were not bad. It was a minority of Antifa that were insane, and they were terrorists. And I will tell that to any Antifa. Antifa are freaking terrorists. But a few is relative. I mean, it could be a number of people. But it's crazy, guys. And I just wanted to hop on real quick and share this share this just feeling with you. And how much I want to stress to you guys that it's very important for you to understand what's going on in your country. It's very important for you not to just take somebody's word for it. Don't take my word for it. Come out here and see for yourself. You think I'm full of crap? I would invite you to come out here and check it out. That's what I would say. And or wherever you live or whatever's going on in your country, be an active participant in what's going on. The biggest hindrance to freedom is apathy. And dictators play upon apathy. And it's scary. It's scary. Keeping people out or keeping people in. I don't know. You guys, I don't know, guys. And again, guys, I'm not going to get into Biden sucks, Trump sucks. That's not the purpose of this podcast, or not the podcast, the live stream. That's not the purpose of this, and I'm not going to get into that. I'm talking about what I see. And one thing I want to keep reiterating this: we live in an information where we have such an incredible access to information, yet it is the biggest propaganda time of all of our lives. The biggest propaganda time of all of our lives. Our politicians use propaganda, and you can say, well, they've always done that. Yeah, but now they can do it just like that and spread stuff. And it's insane. It's insane. I didn't say Antifa had anything to do with January 6th. I don't know if they did or not. I don't know. I can tell you, when you're sitting there in Portland and you see people get out of a van and they are dressed head to toe in combat gear, they're all blacked out. They've got their face, their eyes, everything are blacked out, not because of a freaking COVID mask, but because they want to remain anonymous. And they have baseball bats and hockey sticks. You're not there to protest. You're there to stir stuff up. That's some real stuff. And when these jackasses, I have a personal beef with Antifa because mother effers came after me. They damaged my car. They personally assaulted me and they chased me. And I have all of this on video. So I will take on these Antifa. I hate these motherfuckers. They really get me going because if you guys haven't dealt with these people and you don't know the evil that we're dealing with, we are really dealing with some evil, evil people. And they are out to destroy the freedoms that we have in our country. And if you don't take that seriously, you're going to regret it. This is serious stuff that's happening. And if you haven't been part of it, you just don't know. And I can't say that strongly enough. I went to Portland to try to figure out for myself what was going on. And when you are, the whole reason Antifa got on my ass is because I had the unmitigated nerve to film them committing arson. They didn't like it. They didn't like it. And that's when things went sideways. So, anyways, normally I'm a nice, cheerful guy, so I'm gonna keep going on with the cheerful route. But guys, that's my party message to all of you, as I want you to really get out there, experience things. Don't take people's word for it. Don't take people's word for it. Don't trust your dad. Don't trust your mom. Don't trust anybody. Trust your eyes. Especially don't trust political leaders, and even more, don't trust the news. Don't trust any news. And I'm not some conspiracy theorist. I was in Portland. Again, Portland was crazy. I was in Portland and this guy runs up to me, and I think this was on a live stream. I was live streaming when this happened. And he said, hey, they're rounding people up. And so many people, these stupid stories, and they're rounding people up. I said, oh, okay, where? Over there. Okay, did you see him put people in the truck? No, they're doing it. Okay, so I said, oh, and I'll be straight with you guys. I'm like, well, if that's happening, I'm going to document it. And I can honestly tell you, when I have seen stuff, I saw cops acting like dirtbags in Denver, absolute dirtbags, slamming people. I documented it, and I got into it with the cops, okay? This isn't a one or a left or a right or a pro this or an anti this. This is the stuff I see. And I said to this cat in Portland, I said, so where are they rounding these people up? Well, it's happening. They're coming in unmarked vehicles and taking them. Okay, great. Show it to me. I need to see this. I want to document it. If it's happening, I want to see it. Well, I actually haven't seen it. Oh, well, what happened? Oh, well, it happened. Some guy told me it happened over there. So you didn't see it? No. So you have no clue? No. So you're an idiot? Yes. That's my point, man. It just sucks because the biggest losers are us. And I can't say this strongly enough. If we as people stopped fighting between each other and started taking our vitriol out on politicians that deserve it, that's when we would get our power back. We have relinquished our freedoms. We have relinquished our freedoms without force. Do you know how scary that is? We have truly relinquished all of our freedoms, freedom of assembly, freedom of speech, freedom of all of those things, and they don't even have to hold a gun to our heads to do it. That's scary. They have done it. They've only done it through fear and misinformation. And we talk about COVID. Do we even know if any of this stuff's working? Yet we keep just accepting it. Yes. You riddle me this, Batman. What other entity gets to F everything up for a year now? Nobody's getting COVID, right? And not just in the United States. Other countries are effing it up bad too. Okay. Nobody's getting it right, but we just keep going along. Oh, masks. Okay. Masks. Great. Does it work? We don't know. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I'm not anti-mask. I'm not anti anything that works. But for us to, I was starting to write a post on this. It's scary how we've lost the courage to ask a simple question of why? Why do we do this? Why do we do this? Okay, you're telling me we need to wear a mask. Does it work? Where's the proof that it works? Now, I think all of us, myself included, after COVID first hit, everybody's like, okay, we got to be careful. We don't know what's going on. Guys, it's been 10 damn months. You're telling me we don't have enough sample size to be able to say whether or not masks work? And the argument of, well, it would be worse if we didn't. That's over. That can't happen anymore. We have to actually know, how long are we going to sit here and take it up the you know what as citizens while our political leaders sit there and live a double life? You guys understand? I mean, all of us see the news. These jackasses, these mother effers sit there and they live a separate life. They go out to restaurants. They don't socially distance. They fly in their private jets. Meanwhile, we have to live under these crazy authoritarian rules. I don't know. Don't get me going. Woo! Submit or be prosecuted. Yeah. You guys already know the story. I've put a video out on it. I got arrested for standing at a rally. It's ridiculous. And then I go to jail. And then the irony of it all is I go to jail for standing there, and I was interviewing a guy. I go to jail. I have to post bail. And now all these jackasses and these terrorists, I don't care what it is. If you attack the Capitol building, you're a terrorist. Okay? If you break into buildings and you burn shit and you do that stuff, you're a terrorist. Congratulations, mother freaker. You're a terrorist. I don't care if you're left or right. You're a freaking terrorist when you do that stuff. Okay? So the fact that our country in a lot of places has instituted a no bail policy where these terrorists are getting out with no bail, and or better yet, our dumbass celebrities are bailing these mother freakers out. Celebrities, oh my gosh, I hate them worse than the news. But these dumbass celebrities are bailing them out of jail. Meanwhile, I go to jail and I have to post bail for standing there, and it's just upside down world. It's absolutely insane. And I want to submit to you guys, I apologize for my language, and I apologize for my for the way that I feel, but this is a strong thing. And I really want to articulate this as best that I can. It's hard for a lot of you out there to really understand the feelings that I'm feeling, because I will humbly suggest that the vast majority of you have not experienced what I have this past year. I'm not saying that you haven't experienced hardship and other things, but you haven't experienced these events where I've been tear gassed. I've been shot at. I've been chased. And yes, I've submitted myself to those events because of the place that I put myself, but I've done that to document things so I could actually see what's going on. So to live all this stuff and just to see these politicians sit there and just live this separate life from us, it's just I don't know. I'm trying not to get too political here. I'm trying to just maintain it, but it's not a political rant. Well, it is if you talk about politicians, but I'm not talking about left or right. I'm not telling you about all that other stuff. What I'm telling you guys is, if it's a Republican that F's up, get rid of them. If it's a Democrat, get rid of them. And I really do. I know this sounds really Pollyanna-ish to say, and that's an old saying, but this sounds really pie in the sky to say. But I really do believe, my friends, that the vast majority of us normal people, if you put the normal people in a room, we may disagree on some policy issues. We may disagree on, how to handle energy. We may disagree on how to handle social welfare. We may disagree on some of the economics of things. But most of us will find middle ground, and we will make consensus, and we will build bridges. But we are at a point in our lives where there is such a gap between the people who rule and the rest of us. It's scary. And I just hope that all of you can understand, regardless of who's in charge, we should be questioned. We always have the right to question when our freedoms are infringed upon. Okay? We always have the right. Why, during World War II, didn't people stand up and fight against the fact that the Japanese were put in internment camps? That's awful. That's horrible. At the one moment where we're actually fighting for people's freedoms against the Nazis, we're putting the Japanese in internment camps. You can't make this shit up. It's ridiculous. And I really think that that's what we should do. People are in echo chambers. You're right. People don't just listen. when I sit down and I talk to people on the streets, sometimes they're left, sometimes they're right. When I sit down and talk to them and we have a civil conversation, we're like, you're right about that. Whatever our point may be, we'll say, you're really right about that. We should do something about that. That's actually kind of messed up. I think the vast majority of people like you and I, we want all of us to have mutual success. We want people to live happy lives with a good degree of freedom. And guys, I've been to Auschwitz, I've been to Dachau, I've been to Sachsenhausen, I've been to these concentration camps, I've traveled all over the world. And when you see this stuff, and then when you see this stuff, and then you come to the United States of America, which is supposed to be the beacon of freedom for the world, and you see the beacon of freedom for the world is surrounded by a wall with an army, it blows your mind. I don't care who you are. It blows your mind. It blows your mind. And I think that all of you guys should think about that. And it really is absolutely mind-boggling. And if more of us got out of Biden's my guy or Trump's my guy, if most of us got out of that box and said, this is just not right, okay? Hey, you want freedom, I want freedom, let's do this. I don't understand why people just cannot sit there and get their acts together and get their heads out of their butts. Walls and guns, that's right. We got walls and guns. It's absolutely crazy. It is double walled. It is. So what they got, guys, is they've got multiple layers. So if you hop a wall, which you're not going to hop a wall, but if you did hop a wall, you get over that wall, then you got to pass through Doberman pinchers. That's me trying to be funny. They're actually German shepherds. You jump over one wall, then you run over to the next one, and then you got to jump another wall. We are so far away. I'm as close as you can get. So from my hotel, when I walk out, I am hitting that fence within about a 5-minute walk. That's about as close as you can get. It's they said the last guy was a dictator. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Go live tomorrow. I will go live if I can. One thing that I tend to do more often than not, guys, is I do go live on my Instagram quite a bit, just because I don't know why I do that. I guess I could go live here too, but Instagram's so fast just to go live. YouTube usually takes a few more steps. So usually when I'm out and about, I'm on my Instagram when I'm doing that. But guys, just document what you're seeing. Just document what you're seeing. Some of the stuff that we're now taking as being commonplace. I mean, I was walking through the airport today. I flew out of LAX and came over here to DC. And because the international terminal is shut down over LAX, they've moved a lot of domestic flights for Delta. Delta's who I fly, and Delta's the largest airline. So they've moved a lot of Delta's flights into the international terminal. That is a terminal that I have flown out of for the last decade when I've taken a lot of these trips, because international is almost always better, cheaper, whatever through LAX. So this is a terminal that I know very well. I have memories of sitting down with friends and family members and team members in certain restaurants and blah, blah, blah in that terminal. And today, as I'm walking through it and you're seeing the caution tape up and everything's boarded up, and it's just stunning. It's stunning. And I want to make something abundantly clear. I do have people in my life that have had COVID. I do have people in my life who are still struggling with COVID. I'm not an anti-COVID. COVID is a hoax. It's not real. That's not me. I'm just saying, what if, okay, I went to T-Mobile the other day. I busted my phone, had to get a new one. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is a year into this stupid thing and we're still wearing masks and we're still like completely isolated from people. And I'm sitting there crossing the T-Mobile guy, and I just had a moment, and I'm like, what if this really never changes? Like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do when do we reach that point of, okay, we're done. We're living. Do you know that more people have died? I just heard this on the news yesterday. More people have died of cardiac arrest, heart disease than before during COVID. They're dying more of that than they are of COVID. Here's the thought. Let's outlaw candy bars, anything that leads to obesity, because lots of people die of diabetes. Lots of people die of smoking. So let's outlaw smoking. Let's outlaw anything. or do we let people live? See, we have found a way to deal with people being obese. That's on them. Yes, it's a drain on our healthcare system, but if you want to be obese, you can be obese. If you want to smoke, you can smoke. We have smoking only sections. We have so on and so forth. Eventually, what if the vaccine doesn't work? What if really, what? Think about that for a minute. Here's a question to ask yourself. What is your breaking point? What is your point at which you say, that's it? Yep, COVID's awful. But guess what? We got to live. I got to make a living. You know, the real truth of it is the only reason there hasn't been Armageddon around the world is because our governments have bribed us with future money. That's all that it is. They've just bribed us and kept us at home with unemployment. And so by them bribing us and keeping us at home with unemployment, there's a lot of people out there, and I talk to a lot of them, a lot of creatives out there like you and me. And I have a lot of them say to me, dude, this is great. I can create. I get paid. I'm getting extra money. Biden's going to come in. He's going to give us a huge $2 trillion stimulus. I know guys who've been on unemployment for a year and they're getting extended for another 6 to 9 months. They love it. Guys, hard work is what creates wealth, not sucking off the government tit. Okay. That's what creates wealth. And the other thing I'll say to you, and I'll offer up to you, is throughout the course of our history, nothing great has ever been achieved by acting through fear. That's just a fact. Okay. We didn't beat the Nazis by retreating. We beat the Nazis by beating their asses into the ground. You beat evil with courage, not with fear. And it scares me because I see a real lack of fear. And when COVID first started and everything started changing in our society, I did not think that Americans, especially Americans, would ever bend over the way that we have. And it makes me sad. So that's how I'm feeling right now. You guys want to talk photography? Well, at least Recon does. I just had to get that off my chest, man. It's been absolutely crazy. And am I planning to release a documentary with it? Yes, I am. I'm planning to release a documentary with it. And lots of other fun videos. But guys, just remember these things and remember your place in history, and you have a role to play. Remember that you have a role to play in all of this. And the things that you take as commonplace right now can truly, they will go away. And there will be a point in where your grandkids ask you, what was it like during COVID? Or your kids will ask you, what was it like during COVID? They really will. And if you actually, if you take you and document what's happening, it'll make a big difference. I really agree. So, all right, I am going to take a few questions here from you guys on another topic. And I just wanted to share that with you, but I will share my findings here with the world, and we'll go from there. So, have I shot the 35 of the 1770 millimeter Tamron? I love it. It's actually why I took the A6500 around with the 17 to 70 today. It's an absolutely great lens, and it's really an all-purpose. It's significantly lighter than a 70 to 200, and it gives you a much greater variety of shots. You can do it's a 25 to 105 equivalent, and it's really a phenomenal kit. So no, I'm all in for that lens. Have I shot the 35 millimeter G Master? I have not. The reason I have not is honestly, I don't need it. That Sony Zeiss that I have, I love. There's no reason for me to spend money on a 35 G Master or even get a discount or whatever. I just don't need to. So I haven't shot it yet. We will have a breaking point. Yes, we will. We really will. Do you have a drone? Yes, I do. Why did I choose to bring the A6500? Well, just pretty much because I'm shooting with the 17 to 70. I mean, I have all my other cameras. I have the A9 and the 7 III and all that too. Hola, mate from Hong Kong. Hope all is well. Loved your boxing arena shoot yesterday. Can't wait for the long video. Yeah, that's awesome. Guys. Also, another thing is, if you haven't yet, go and hit up that Rotolite competition, guys. You can win one. It's not a joke. You only have until January 31st to enter, guys. Go to jasonlanier.com/competition. What is your favorite lens between the 100 to 150? What do you mean the 100 to 150? I don't. What do you mean, Ryan? Have you tested the Nikon Z6 yet? I have not. The two, I have not. Are you planning to travel anywhere that you haven't been able to go since COVID restrictions? Yeah, I mean, once COVID lifts, I want to go everywhere. Have you shot the A6600? Yes, yes, I have. I already have the A6500. See, the reason I'm not up on all the newest and greatest Sony stuff is honestly because their big push to really get a lot more gear out is over. Now they're just supplementing. So most of what they output, I really don't need anymore. What lens are you planning on using tomorrow? I'll definitely be taking the 17 to 70 with the A6500, but then I'll have my backpack and I'll be taking some prime lenses and I have the 100 to 400 G Master that I'll be taking with the A9 for sure. And then I'll probably have the 35 millimeter on the 7.3, and I'll have those bodies and cameras ready to do. I just got the Tamron 28 to 200 yesterday. I'm loving it. Yep. Just ordered my EOS, by the way. Congratulations. That's awesome. It's a great light. I have a lot more respect for you more than ever before because you're speaking about the truth. Thank you. And again, I'm not trying to go too political, guys, but it's just about freedom. It's not about how to handle global warming. It's about freedom. Okay. That's all it's about to me. You and I can disagree on global warming or economics, but we should agree on freedom. That's what I want us to find common ground on. I like the 185, for instance. I love a 135. But if I'm going to use a 135, it's probably going to be the Canons because it's lighter, and at f2 compared to a 1.8, it works great, and I don't need to spend more money. I'd love to shoot with you sometime. Come to South Carolina. That'd be awesome, Rebecca. I'd love that. Ginger snaps. A7C, I haven't used it yet. Should I invest in a theatrical lighting console and dimmer packs for doing video shoots to adjust the set? I'm aware that you do a lot of stills, but can you shed some light for me? Are you talking about like a DMX setup for your rotolights? Is that what you mean? Glad you made it to DC alive. What's up, Mark? Yes, I did. I made it here alive. Whether or not I get back alive, that's another issue. But I do got your lens, baby boy, right here. You want me to flip it? Mark just had a heart attack. Will you go live in the ceremony? If something's happening, yeah. Thank you for sharing your time. Thank you. What editing software do you use? I still use Adobe. We can't disagree on the global warming, man. Why can't conservatives get the seriousness of the problem? I'm not going to get into, again, left or right on it. I'm not going to get there. What I am going to say is we should all agree on freedom. We should all respect each other's freedom and the ability to be free and to express ourselves. That's what we should find common ground on. And that's the sad part to me right now. Is the jump from an A6400 to an A7 III worth it? Yeah, I think definitely. Absolutely. Rebecca's fangirling. Well, thank you, Rebecca. I'll fanboy over you, sister. Ginger snaps. Bro, been using the Sony A7S III with the Sigma Chachimaka. What is this? Uh-oh, I can't get back to it. I can't get back to your comment. You guys are too quick. Okay. With the Sigma 10514 more than my A7R3, am I losing my mind? No. But if you need to crop in, good luck. Yes, DMX for any lights. Love Roto 2. Yeah, I would use the Roto lights with the DMX setup. That's totally what I would do. Recon, you're the one who told me to get off politics. You keep posting comments now about politics. All right. That's $50 a flip. Hey, I'll take it. I'll send you my PayPal. You can pay me. LOL, Brandon. Those people don't drive alone wearing a mask are just LOLs. You lost a lot of weight. Yes, I have. Thank you. I have lost a lot of weight. Thank you. Mark Morris is giving me training tips. I love it. Shout out from West Virginia. What's up? I love West Virginia. Live close to where your great friend Bannon King lived. Yeah. I love that guy. Love that guy. How will you get cell phone reception with the masses of people tomorrow? I'll just put up my Fedora signal in the sky and I'll get special signal. By the way, there's nobody here. Just so you guys know. Whether or not there'll be people here tomorrow, who knows? But there's nobody here. It's crazy. Thank you, brother. You're welcome. Ryan Chapman is fangirling. I'm gonna do a boudoir shoot of Ryan Chapman. That'll be sexy. All right. Okay, Recon, you told me to talk about a different topic, and you keep all you're posting on is COVID and politics now. It's time for us to all get on the same page and listen and learn from each other without ridicule or backlash from the other. I could not agree more. Are you covering the inauguration? Yes, I am. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? It is 4.225 gigahertz. Let's all hope DC burns to the ground tomorrow. No, I do not hope for that in any shape or form. That is anarchy, and anarchy is bad for every freedom-loving, peace-loving person. It is. Looking great, brother. Thank you. Thank you. I'll send you my Tinder profile. I guess you would be Grindr, right? Right across. We should agree. Yeah, we should agree on freedom, but people have some really strange concepts about it. Well, I don't know. The founding fathers had some good ideas on freedom. Is the hotel full where you're at? Not even close. Just got here. Where will you be shooting? Well, I'm going to go down by the Capitol as close as I can go. Say no to Sprite. Absolutely. Always say no to Sprite. Say yes to the Dew and the funky chicken too. Diet Mountain Dew, baby boy. How do you distinguish yourself as a professional photographer from the protesters and rioters so you don't become a casualty getting the epic photo shots? You don't. And so when I have, that's the other thing is when I was in Portland and people would say, oh, the CNN or Fox News, whoever, they got shot. They got this. Dude, if you're in the middle of it, it's going to happen, okay? You cannot be in the middle of all of it and not expect stuff to happen. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying don't be surprised. So when I'm in the middle of it and I get hit with stuff, which I have been, and shrapnel, and then the smoke bombs go off, the frag, all that stuff, oh my gosh, the tear gas when it explodes, the canister, the metal flies, it hits you. It's not fun. But guess what? If I decide to put myself there, c'est la vie, baby boy. Do you have a press pass to get through those gates? I do have a press pass, but from my speaking with them today, they're being even more strict than normal, so I do not know if I'm going to be able to get through. Normally, that would be no problem, but they are being really strict. How do you normally have to do long exposures to get rid of the people in the frame? You'll not have to use regular handheld work. That's crazy. Yeah, they're going to be gone. It's crazy. Hello from Japan. What's up, my love? How has jobs been during COVID? Weddings? There's no weddings. There's no jobs. COVID sucks. African or European? Both. Somebody's giving me kissy faces. Kiss back, baby love. I don't know if you're a guy or a girl, but whatever you are, I just gave you a smooch. Too much information. I don't know what that was referred to. I didn't mean it like that. If you don't believe in vaccines before, you should not believe in vaccines now. Well, that's up to somebody else. I believe vaccines serve a purpose. Don't believe they're for everyone, but I do believe they are for some people. I do know that we wouldn't be where we're at in the world today if we didn't vaccinate in some way, shape, or form, because we would still be dealing with polio and smallpox. So let's have some rational thinking here, my friends. Need your advice, brother. I currently have an A7R II. I can buy new lens or body or rotolight combo. What do you suggest I do? Well, it depends on what you already have for lenses. But I would probably go with lighting if you don't have lighting, because it sounds like you have a body and a lens already. Tell me what else you have, and I'll tell you what you should do. You said no one is, you said no one is here on the streets. How about the hotels? Guys, it's just a ghost town. I even went out to dinner. It's just empty. It's crazy. Maybe there'll be a flood of people that come tomorrow, but in all of my experiences in covering the inauguration, it's always been heavy the night before. It's always been a party. And yes, of course, it's going to be diminished, even if we didn't have all the stuff going on because of COVID. But for it to be this diminished is very surprising. Victor said, just jumped in to say hello. Well, hello. It's freedom of speech as long as it's approved by our president, Twitter, and First Lady Facebook. Good. Yeah, our tech companies have too much power. That I agree with. And if you're a pro-Trump guy, yeah, they're gonna make you angry. But if you're just wait till it turns. That's what I always say, guys. Whatever, if you're a person and you cheer when someone loses their freedom because that person is the opposite view from you, you shouldn't do that, because if it can happen to them, it can happen to you. And that's the scary thing. So never ever cheer for somebody losing their freedom. It's unless they're a criminal. You know, people should relish and savor, and people should protect our freedom. We shouldn't be joyful when anybody loses freedom. What gives a story a photo? A photo a story? You have to have context. You have to have a subject, and you have to have a background. Put those together, you're going to get some great shots. Don't shoot me, but can you shoot? But you can shoot my wife. She's hot. I'd even pay for that shoot. Sure. You got the money. I got the camera, baby boy. I'll be tuned in tomorrow morning. Good to know you're there for some unfiltered truth. That's right, my love. J-Dog, what's up, Steve? My pimp from San Francisco. I'll be up in San Francisco later this month, actually. It's going to be fun. If no one shows up tomorrow, I'll take a selfie with 200 or 300 soldiers with their fists in the air. That'd be epic for the portfolio. Yeah, it would. I don't know how I'm going to get 200 or 300 soldiers to put their fists in the air, but we'll see about that. Mountain Dew, communist? It could be. This could be a piece of propaganda. Maybe I'm turning socialist because I'm a Dew boy. What do you consider to make a composition look pro? Get your spacing right. Spacing between your background, your foreground, and your subject, and props. There'll be heavy signal jamming, so still photo will be about the best you can do. Well, whatever it is, I'll let you guys know what I experience. I hope you're not alone at it tomorrow and have someone with you. I am by myself. It's just protest spice and everything nice. What metering mode do you use and why? I use just the one that comes out of the camera. I don't trust the camera. I don't care about the meter. I care about what my eyes tell me. The major melon Mountain Dew. I have not. Hello from Ireland, Jason. How close is your building or your room to the inauguration? It is pretty close. We have weddings, but it is limited to a certain amount of guests. Yeah. Anything you would have done as a photographer if you weren't present at the Capitol riot? Oh, if I was present, I would have documented it. I regret not being here for that, but I had gigs that were already booked, but I would have loved to have been here for that. I love to be wherever history's happening. I love to be there. I've said this before, and people have a heart attack when I say this. I would absolutely love to have taken portraits and interviewed Hitler. That would be fascinating. I think he's evil. I think he is responsible for the deaths of millions of people. I think he's an absolute lunatic, but would it not be fascinating? Absolutely. Just as much as I would love to photograph Gandhi or any of our, Abraham Lincoln. I would love to photograph those people, but I would also love to photograph and talk to John Wilkes Booth. For those who don't know, because not a lot of people are very good at history, that's the guy who killed Abraham Lincoln. I would actually love to be able to document and photograph both of those people. That would be fascinating to me. I'd love to speak with Osama bin Laden, Saddam Hussein. I'd love to speak with all the good people who've done good things in the world. But to me, that's what makes history so fascinating. It's the documentation of all of those sides. I mean, to me, one of the things that really impacted me as a younger storyteller was, my dad loved watching documentaries. And so my dad would watch documentaries, and, like any dad who's in my dad's age range, they watched a lot of stuff about World War II. And so I'll never forget, just, I walk into the room and listening and not understanding, of course, because I didn't speak German, but watching the power at which Hitler would articulate his message. And you could see that the German populace was in a very weakened condition, and they felt very disrespected after what happened in World War I. And so they were prime for somebody, a big, massive manipulator like Hitler, to come through and manipulate them into committing some evil acts, some very evil acts. But it's if we didn't have that footage of Hitler speaking, we really wouldn't understand the power and the eloquence that he had in making people believe in his message. To me, that's powerful. That's why I would love to document those people. Again, what he did was awful. I don't admire him in any way, but us having that footage is very powerful, and it's a lesson for us to learn to not ever drink the Kool-Aid from a mother freaker like that again. I like the political talk. You're a good guy with, oh, thank you. Trump supporters aren't planning violence or similar. We're all at home silently freaking out due to the possibility of facing the next Paris commune. Yeah, well, that's true for a lot of folks. That really is. Are the flights empty? Yeah, check my Instagram story and my Facebook post. My flight was empty. That was another moment that was really surreal. Jason, I have bail. Call me tomorrow. Oh, absolutely. I might need it. All here by myself. But isn't freedom of speech when you are in your personal public space, but on a platform app, you have to agree to the terms of service? That's a good point, Brazil show. But guess what? That was applicable 30 years ago, 20 years ago, when these social media companies were nothing. These social media companies are now complete, unmitigated monopolies. And just like the cable company, just like the utility companies, when certain entities get too large, they wield too much power, and they have to be broken up. That's a fact. So when our means of communication, you think about it, our means of communication are now social media. So there has to be some regulation in there. And again, if you're saying, oh, I love it, Trump got banned. Okay, that's fine. You may hate Trump and you're grateful he got banned. Wait until it happens to you or to your party or to your person. You won't like it. You won't like it. We should never, ever rejoice in the restriction of freedom. I got a couple 8200 Sigma 21.4 Tamron, Sony 8. Oh, yeah, then I would definitely get lighting, John. Hello from Baltimore. What's up, baby boy? Please be very careful. I will. You know me. If there's stuff going down, I'll be running towards it. I'm trying to learn how to do the photo documentation journalism if I happen to be in the action. So background context means open up 214. No, it means story. You have to have something back there. So for as a very simple example, it can't just be what makes an image more powerful is if you have a picture of a soldier standing there, there needs to be something in the background that tells where he is. So a picture of a soldier is very powerful, but a picture of a soldier standing, and then in the background you see the Capitol building, you see a flag falling on the ground, you see something that tells more of a story. So you have to start to put those together. Don't worry about a couple of fellow photographers will tag along. That'd be cool. Sigma 10514, Sigma 85 for Sony. Depends on what you're shooting. I'd probably do the Sigma 85. That 105 is heavy as a mofo. I bet the Sigma 10514 I bought the Sigma 105 on a recommendation. Sharpest lens I've used at 1.4. Even my Nikon 85-1.4 don't come close. It's a great lens. Who's the most famous person you photographed? I don't know. I actually don't like famous people. I've done a lot of athletes, NFL, NBA, and when I say I don't like them, there's clearly some good people in there, but I don't like them because they want it for free. I know that sounds horrible, but rich people want everything for free. It makes you want to bang your head against the wall because I'm like, wait a minute, you make so much money, but you want me to do this for free because you're doing me a favor. So I've made a concerted decision. Like when you guys see all these, okay, here's the thing. When you see these photographers and they're like, oh, they're always on the red carpet and they have all these pictures of all these famous people, they're getting paid nothing or next to nothing to do this. They're getting paid by whoever's running the red carpet. They're not getting paid by these celebrities. So they get these shots and these celebrities come in, they go boom, boom, boom. They get a few quick shots. They're getting paid pittance to shoot these people who are rich because they're there for a movie awards show or they're there for whatever they're doing. It's ludicrous. I can't stand these mother freakers. I really can't. Don't like these people. I'd rather deal with normal people, truly. Okay. You photographed President Trump? That's awesome. I'd love to do that. That's amazing. Good for you, man. That's awesome. And I would love to photograph Biden. See my point? No matter who it is, I would love to do it. I think it would be an honor to be able to be part of history, regardless of who the person is. If more people just wrap their damn heads around that and got their heads out of their butts, people would really be doing better. My quest is to acquire a press pass. Has fallen short for 2 years. Nobody will say how to get one. Maybe I'll do a video on it. Help you guys out there. I'd love to bring three founding fathers to today's time, and after a week of them being here, ask them what they think. It wouldn't take a week. It would take a half day. And they'd be like, what the F's going on in this place? What's your thoughts on news media asking Bill Gates for advice? Yeah, it's ridiculous. Bill Gates should go pound sand. Oh my gosh. This guy's in for doing weird stuff with cloning and cloning out genes. And he is a weird mother freaker, Bill Gates. That is a weird nerd that got way too much money, and now he does some weird stuff with it. Bill Gates is a freak. Anything about the Sony A7 IV? Nope. I don't know anything about it. And if I did, I couldn't tell you. What's your thought? Okay. After you're done in DC, you should drive up to Columbia, PA. I wish I could. I have a road trip planned with a great model named Naya. So that's in the books. I got to go. The next 4 years are going to be scary. I think I think all of that's the thing when people are like, oh, 2020, woo, it's over. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Nothing changed on the calendar. Nothing. All we did was change numbers. We're still in the same garbage that we've been in for the last year. Jason Baird, they didn't just ban a single user. They used their power to shut down another business. Yeah, that's you guys. It's scary. It's really scary. And again, I keep saying it, but when you think it's so funny when it happens to your foes, history will come back and it'll happen to you. So that's my point in saying it shouldn't happen to anyone. It shouldn't. Always have your camera ready. Yep. The Bell Company was broken up in the 70s. It could easily happen to the social media companies today. The power they hold over the populations is crazy. Precisely. Absolutely. You can create your own website and post whatever you want. That is freedom of speech, in my opinion. If I'm posting on someone else's platform, then I'm going to give up some of that right. That's actually not even true. GoDaddy and Amazon have actually been restricting hosting services for opinions that that don't conform with their own. Guys, there's just some serious stuff. Okay, when you have massive, we're talking monolithic, enormous companies like Amazon that have way too much money and way too much power, and we are way too dependent upon them as human beings. It's scary. We have given up way too much power. Just like that. They say, okay, website's down. Jeff Bezos, he's another freak. You guys understand a lot of these uber rich people are just freaks. They're nerdy freaks. You can create your own. Okay, you guys want to talk about social media. It's not just that. It's the fact that social media companies cannot. It's not just the fact that it's their own platform. It's the fact that social media companies are acting as publishers and they cannot be sued. That's a serious problem. It's the fact that social media companies get to determine. Okay, the fact that social media companies can determine what's on their platform based upon their own political leanings is wrong. It's wrong. They're not applying their own rule set equally to all of their users. That is wrong. And the fact that they can do that with impunity and just act any way they desire to do is wrong. Guys, it's freedom. You have to cherish and fight for freedom, even if sometimes that freedom isn't your necessary way of thinking. Gates has his hands into too many things. Yeah, he's a freak. Yeah, he really is. What if you cloned his wife? I don't know. Is she a good-looking woman or something? I don't know. I could care less. The fact that she has to sleep with Bill Gates means she's a real trooper. Hello from Singapore. Hello. How many trumpets here? Bill Gates is a lunatic. He is. Bill Gates is why a lot of people don't want to take COVID vaccine, especially after he wanted to give it to Africans first. He's crazy. Bill Gates is effing crazy. I have a friend in Singapore. That's great. Are there any shots or moments you hope to capture tomorrow? Yeah, I want to show the story of it. I think showing our country blocked off. I think showing our country again, we're supposed to be the beacon of freedom. Are showing our country as being completely closed off. America prides itself on setting an example for democracy and freedom around the world, and we are doing a very poor example of that. And I don't say that proudly. I say that with a lot of shame that we are acting so scared, so scared. It blows my mind. Blows my mind. You have made history on YouTube. Oh, I have. How did I make history on YouTube? We love you from Japan. Thank you. 9/11 gave up your rights. There's some truth to that too. There is some truth to that. The photograph of Shannon marching through the halls was the most epic photo. Do you think the photographer may get an award? Any guesses? I haven't even seen that picture. I'm sorry. I've been super busy. Sorry, I can't agree. He was spewing hatred and needed to be shut down, and people of color have been discriminated against. What's up, Lionel? But Lionel, the thing is, my man, anytime anyone is shut down, anybody can be shut down. And somebody can come back and say, well, that person is spewing hatred. How many people spew hatred? Lots of people spew hatred all the time. A lot of our politicians spew hatred. And that's the problem. That's the problem that we have, is there's no actual discourse any longer. It's just crazy. We live in a day and age where it isn't another country that will take us over, but it will be a big tech company or banking system. Could be true. Bill Gates now owns the most farmland in the USA. Oh, Bill Gates needs to just buy his own island and be like Jeffrey Epstein, go away to his own island and leave us alone. But I don't want him to be like Jeffrey Epstein. I certainly don't want any women to be abused. But I just wish he would go away to his own island. That's what I meant by that. Are you concerned your chats are listened in by the military right now? Well, if they are, they are. If they are, I love you guys. I've always supported the military. I was a contract photographer for a tour, and famous people came through all the time. 99%. I'll send you a signed picture of themselves, LOL. But few of them but a few of them were very cool. Yeah, same. They're just it's not all it's cracked up to be. Most of the world doesn't have your freedom, so it's foreign to us. Yeah, I agree with you. And that's why we should be setting an example, not doing this dog and pony show we got going on here. The social dilemma predicted all these events, and everyone has a polarized version of reality. Yep. Bill Gates' wife looks like a dude. Okay, I have no idea. I'm not going to make fun of a woman's looks, but I don't know. Freedom of speech is not just there to protect speech like you. It's there to protect the speech of those you don't agree with. Exactly. Different options are a good thing to help. I agree. FBI should be watching a lot of folks here. I bet they already are. Well, who knows? Hello from the remoteness of banjo playing people. What's up, Simon? FBI has been watching me since about 2001. All right. We got David Duchovny on the line. There are way too many, where did I go? Idiotic conspiracy theories. Too many people believe memes and throw around I heard and people say, but ignore truth when it's right in front of them. Yeah, there's truth to that. Misinformation. I hope you get clear footage of Biden being escorted away by the military. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Two wrong don't make one right. Jason, grow up. I don't know what you mean by that. Wait, is Lionel actually Ken? Nope, Lionel's not Ken. I know Lionel. He's a good guy. The atmosphere is changing here. Startling. Seems almost intentional. I don't know what you guys are talking about. That's true. He owns 40,000. Okay, guys, we can stop with the Bill Gates stuff. Remember, freedom of speech does not allow someone to scream fire in a crowded theater. That's true. Unless there's a fire. Same thing with Russia. The oligarchs control Russia and they corrupt all the politicians. I thought you guys wanted to talk about stuff other than politics. Thanks, Jason, for approaching this on a common sense standpoint and a standpoint of right versus wrong in our best interest. Absolutely. Trump called Ted Cruz's wife ugly, and Cruz still brown-nosed him. Now that's That's funny. And Trump should not have done that. That was a messed up thing to do. I know plenty of celebrities, but I'm friends with very few because so many are out of touch with reality. Yep. They're stuck in their make believe, extremely rich worlds. Yes, they are. Lionel is my man. He's my brother. He knows that. What lens do you like for shooting weddings? 70 to 200. God has got us in the palm of his hand. No, he does not. Guys, we got to take care of ourselves. We can't just say God's got everything, or else the world wouldn't have Hitler. I understand that, and I'm not diminishing the fact of God in our lives, but God also requires us to act and do things for ourselves. If God always had us in the palm of our hands, we wouldn't have had 6 million Jews exterminated. We wouldn't have had, African Americans sold into slavery and abused and murdered. God does not always have us in his hands. I hate to say that. I don't say that to be a pessimist. I say that to be a realist. We as human beings have to be better. That's just the truth. What are the projects you have lined up in DC? Are you able to get into the White House? No, not able to get into the White House. I don't know if Barack Obama can get into the White House. Of course, that's a joke. Of course he can. The point I'm making is I'm just here to document it for a day or two, and then I got a road trip I got to get back to. Sorry, Bill Owens. Okay. Thank you, Jason. You're welcome. What happened with that snake? Yeah, the snake was under my car. If you guys check my Instagram, I was fixing cars with my boys, and there was a long rattlesnake under my BMW 135i. That's some crazy stuff. What camera are you going to use tomorrow? I'm going to use a Sony a6500 17 to 70 Tamron with the Sony A9, the 35, and the Sony A7 III at the 100 to 400 G Master. Do you believe in Agenda 2021? I don't know what it is. God is good, Jason. I never said he didn't. But also, God. Okay. I was a missionary, okay, for those who don't know. So it's not like God is a foreign topic to me. I was a missionary and I served a mission, and I did that for over 2 years of my life. I dedicated to that. So this is not a topic that I am not well versed in. But I also know from personal experience and from historical experience that God requires us to do certain things. What do the scriptures say? It is not meet that I command you in all things. In other words, God is not going to do our work for us. God treats us like a child and a parent relationship. So if you're a parent and you want your child to succeed in life, you cannot do everything for them. Hence, that is why God does not fix the world's problems for us. So if God had everything under control, 6 million Jews wouldn't have been killed. Blacks wouldn't have been put into slavery. All the atrocity that had been committed over all these centuries and centuries wouldn't have happened and continue to happen. We have atrocities and genocide going on right now. So it's got to be more than God, guys. You can't just leave it up. Oh, God's got everything in his hands. Well, God, guess what? God wants us to do a little bit of the work too. I want to talk about a meetup spot for tomorrow. I'll buy breakfast and coffee. Okay, well, it's got to be a keto breakfast because I'm on keto right now, baby boy. Where am I? I'm on K Street. I'm on K and where am I? 6th. That's where I'm at, K and 6th. What percentage of our military do you think is for the people, and what percentage is for the regime? Oh my gosh, I don't know. I think you should have a strong military to defeat evil. I don't think you should have a strong military to use against your own people. It's not left versus right. That's the sideshow. It's the people versus freedom. Totally agree. By the way, Jason, did I tell you that your suggestion last year to grab an 85 was spot on? You get that right? My little love charm. Did you catch it? Do you think about the Rokinon lenses? I don't really care for them. The military has our back. Let's just say that. EOS plus Neo combo for 3 Neo combo. I'm just trying to pick the brain of the great one. I get the EOS plus the Neo combo for sure. Yep, God gave man free will. Here's the thing about that, and I'm not going to go on too much about God and religion, but if God had everything in his hands, then we don't have to do anything. We could be as awful as we want, and hey, well, if God has everything in his hands, then it doesn't matter what I do. We have free will. We have to exercise free will, and as part of free will as a man or a woman, doesn't matter, is using that free will to combat evil. That's pretty simple. And when good men or good women do nothing, evil prevails. It's as simple as it gets. I'm actually going to get married at the neutral Peace Arch Park between Canada and USA. Any composition requests I had to ask of the wedding photographer? I don't know. I don't know if I've ever been there. I think I've passed through there, but get a wide angle lens if you want to get it all. Thank you for staying neutral. I'm looking forward to your work tomorrow. You're welcome. Ginger Snaps, my little fangirl. That will be the only coverage I'll be watching. Be safe. Thank you. A snake under your beamer isn't really a surprise. You've attracted a lot of snakes in your time. Boom. Best comment of the night. You're absolutely right. I have been shooting some skateboards at a snake or at an inside skate park, and because of the lighting, I'm having that's really funny. I'm having issues keeping my ISO down. With the IS 135, 1.8 be a good fast lens to help with that. It actually would. That's a good recommendation compared to like a 70 to 200 2.8. Yep, I agree. Have you ever witnessed a ship to appear to sail over the curvature of the Earth, then zoom in and it reappears, proving it is not a round thing? It's just eyesight distance thing. Yes, I have. It's pretty cool. Just rewatched the Little Red Riding Hood shoot you did a few years back in West Virginia. Still inspirational. That's crazy. That was like a decade ago. So that's crazy. You, how are those hotel bed sheets going for you? They are sexy as hell. That's just my little remote. All right. Do you have a Canon camera? No, not at the moment. I just have them send them to me if I want to use something. Take care and be safe tonight and tomorrow. Honestly, no one knows what tomorrow will bring. I agree. Have you shot with a Sigma EX 70 to 200 2.8? I have not. Peace Arch is my house. Oh, that's cool. Nice shots on Instagram last night. Going to be buying a Rotolite soon. Awesome. You guys can go to rotolite.com/JasonOffers. Will you be shooting any panorama of the Capitol? I can't get into it. You guys don't understand. It is blocked the hell off. That EX Sigma 70 to 200 2.8 is a nice. I had two. Cool. James McNeil. I understand. I had this argument with many people. We must have a light and stop using God as an excuse. Totally agree. Does anyone know if the Tiger King God is? Oh my gosh. You know what? That could be the best. If Trump pardons Joe Exotic, that would be so amazing. That would be awesome. Just to see Joe Exotic back in the open again, another Netflix documentary on that. That would be worth it. I think Trump's approval rating would go up if he just pardoned Joe Exotic. Does anyone know if I have decided to dip my toe into the Sony ecosystem with the Sony a6400? Awesome. Good camera. 135 GM is the best portrait lens. Why don't you use it? I already have a Canon 135 f2. I don't need it, is the honest truth. What do you think about the new Sony 131.4 G Master? I have not used it. You probably wasted your time going to DC, unfortunately. Absolutely not. Getting pictures of what's happening, that's historic. Absolutely not. Keep up the good work, brother. I've been following you and learning from some of the techniques for a few years. Just wanted to say thanks. Well, thank you, iHeartImagery. Ryan, that would be perfect start to 2021. The Tiger runs free again. It would. I might live broadcast this event. Jason, what do you carry for your super telephotos for tomorrow? It's going to be the 100 to 400. You had your surgery a while back. How you feeling? I'm feeling really good. Today is day. Let me see how many steps I've done today, my little mother freakers. I have done. Okay, I've done. See if this will see it. 11,288 steps today, and check that out. That is a 37-day step streak. I've walked 10,000 or more steps for 37 days in a row. That's awesome. How many hats do you own? I don't know, 10. What are you hoping to document tomorrow? Whatever happens. If it's boring, it's boring. If it's exciting, if it's riotous, if it's anarchy, if it's people standing around, if it's boring, I'm just whatever it is, I want to document it. What happened to your weight loss contest? One contest at a time, my little baby boy. It's going to happen, but I'm running the Rotolite contest right now for the Titan X1. So we're doing that first. I don't want to be doing multiple contests. It's too confusing. We're going to get to it. I know you're eating a bunch of donuts, Ryan. So that way, when I launch the contest, you can drop weight quick. Smart move. So the 1.4 and the 2 extenders may not be needed. No. Dang, lots of walking. What lighting package would you purchase for outdoor portraits? I either get a Nova Pro 2 or like a monolight, like a 600. I have a feeling 2021 is going to be a bad year. I think it's going to be an interesting year. I think 2021, the Mayans just mixed up 2012 and 2021. What app was out there for the steps? That's Fitbit with my watch. This guy. Have you done any shoots in Thailand? I have not. I'm getting married there once travel is open. I love shooting around Bangkok. Great people there, and I'm so happy to be around. Well, let me know, Jared. I'll come shoot your wedding for you. That'll give me an excuse to go to Thailand. I'd love to shoot a wedding there. It'd be a lot of fun. Congrats on your health. Looking good, my man. Thank you, JD Jaramillo. Mr. Jaramillo was my band teacher in high school. I played the trombone. There's a little fun fact. Be safe out there and have a plan in place. Things turn bad. My plan is to document everything. Oh, I did get a little toy. I got the DJI OM4. So I'm going to use this as my little gimbal with my phone and play with it and produce some really cool stuff for you guys. Hope you like it. I love your photography videos and I love your documentary work even more. Thanks for sharing with us. You are so welcome. Remember 4 years ago when the guy in the press riser screamed, Jason Lanier? That was me. What's up, bro? I remember that. Yeah, that's awesome. I remember that. That's awesome. You were there with like ABC News or something, right? That was so cool. What's up, Daniel? That's awesome. I totally remember that. Live feeds on YouTube. Yeah, this is a live feed on YouTube right now, my love. Will your content from tomorrow be posted quick? I know you are mobile soon after tomorrow. It really depends. If it's historic stuff, then yes. If it's boring Biden stuff, if it's crazy Trump stuff, who knows? So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, if it's something historic, it'll go up pretty quick. There should be a talking meter, like how we record steps. Yeah, well, I would probably really do well at that. Other than this chat, what is presently on your mind? You know, I'm kind of losing weight. Honestly, that's really, my health is most important to me right now. Seriously looking great. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Some people in life are really mean, and so it's really nice to get the nice compliments. So thank you. Have you ever had material confiscated or subpoenaed? No. I'm trying to think. Disney once wanted to sue me because I refused. Disney, they're bastards too. Disney wanted, if you shoot weddings for Disney, and Disney wanted me to hand over my wedding photography, claiming that since I shot it at their parks, it was they had a license to use it. And they said they would sue me straight up. I had 3 phone calls with them, and every time we had a phone call, guess what? Your boy hung up on them. I'm like, you're ridiculous. I'm not doing it. We're going to sue you. So let me get this straight. I walked into your park. I mean, I was hired by the bride and groom. I walked into your, it's just like if you were hired to shoot a wedding and you shot it at a Marriott, and then Marriott calls you up and says, hey, we have a right to those images. Hell no, you don't, mother freakers. So what happened with Disney was I was in the middle of a wedding, and like my 4th wedding I'd done at Disney. And then Disney, during the middle of the reception, walks up and they said, hey, you need to sign this. And I said, what is it? And they said, it's a contract stipulating that anything that you took, we get to utilize for our own marketing purposes, blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm not signing it. Guys, don't be bullied by people. And I said, no, I'm not signing it. They said, what do you mean you're not signing it? I said, did I stutter? I'm not signing it. And she says, well, then you can't shoot here. I said, that's fine. But you want to tell the bride and groom and get sued by them when I can't shoot the remainder of their wedding? If you do, that's fine, because I'll be off the hook. That'll be on you. And, well, no, but if you don't sign this, you're never shooting for us again. Okay. That's better than me giving away the rights to my images. And again, it's back to the celebrities and these companies. And I'm like, you bastard, you make so much money and you want to bilk the small guy. You want to bilk me. You want to have rights to my images when you've done nothing to earn them. F you, man. So after that, I get a call. Yeah, they're creeps. Disney calls me about 2 weeks after the wedding and said, okay, I know, sorry that we didn't bring it up to you before, but hey, that's the way we handle things. So we're going to have you sign that. I said, I don't know what was so hard to understand. I am not signing that. And they said, well, technically you have to. And technically we want access to all 4 of your weddings. They wanted the fireworks shot that I did. And they said, and if you guys haven't seen that shot, just look it up, Jason Lanier Disney weddings. You'll see the fireworks shot. It's the best picture ever taken at Disney for a wedding. And I said, no, I'm not giving it to you. And they said, well, you have to. And I said, you must think I'm stupid because I am not signing your stupid contract. And nobody talks to Disney like this. And he says, well, do you want to have do you want to have your lawyer talk to mine? I said, I don't need a lawyer for this. You're an idiot. I'm not signing your stupid contract. I don't need a lawyer to understand that you had me sign absolutely nothing prior to shooting the weddings for my clients at your establishment. That's on you. So just because you guys effed up doesn't mean I'm going to get bullied into giving you my work. You can go stick it, Disney. They said, fine, then we'll ban you from the parks, and then you won't be able to shoot weddings here. Cry me a river. You're a dime a dozen. When I said that, he was like, did you just call Disney a dime a dozen? I said, yeah, I can shoot weddings all over the world. What makes you think I need to shoot for you? That's why I stopped shooting Disney, because Disney tried to bully me into getting the rights to my images. I said, F you and the horse you rode in on. I'm not giving you my images. And that's what it is. That was my little rant for the day. Sorry. So when you asked me if I'd ever had my images subpoenaed or stuff, that's what came to my mind. But other than that, no. Have you ever had whatever happened between? I'm not talking about that. I don't talk about toxic people. I understand you guys asking. I don't talk about toxic people, because talking about toxic people just releases venom in your life. I will say this much, and I've said it before: nothing has ever happened to me. Nothing will ever happen to me, because I've never done anything. If that doesn't make it clear, I don't know what else can. Are you going to have like live feeds tomorrow? I might. I probably will. It just depends on what happens. I want iPhones to accept the yeah, don't get me started on Apple either. Between them taking the ports away, between them taking the auxiliary jacks away, between them taking the USB ports away on the computer. Oh my gosh, I'm over Apple too. Apple's another huge company that just has way too much power. I love your photography. I'm only a cell phone photographer and would like to transition to a good camera, but not too complex. Any thoughts? Yeah, get a Sony a6000. Skinny bugger, thank you. That's my little kiss to you, my little Simon Wilshire. Mary, what's up, girl? Thank you, honey. That's very sweet of you to say. You were blacklisted by Disney. I was not. I was taken off of their list of photographers that could shoot there. Blacklisted is probably, that's McCarthyism for those who love history like I do. But no, that's what it was. I think it's a great idea. You did not bring partisan politics into your conversation. Bravo. That's the way it should be. We should just talk about freedom. It's not about Pelosi or Trump or whatever. I really can't stand the vast majority of them anyway. Have you used the Zhiyun Crane 3 gimbal? I have not. I have got one for my Canon 1DX Tamron. It's a beast, but heavy as heck. And that's why I'm staying away from that. I'm really going to go, if I'm doing something like this, like today, I'm going to do more like this and go from there. So how are you going to stay hydrated if I'm not there to hand you Diet Cokes? I don't know, John. I don't know why you didn't come up here. It's very rude of you, to be honest with you. That's right. My work is my work. I do what I want with it. You taught me that. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome, Ginger Snaps fangirl. Goddamn right. I could have represented you and said F Disney. Man, Lionel's black. I'm white. Obviously, together he and I would be like the salt and pepper team. We would just take on anything. Lionel, I got soul with that guy. We are good. And he knows it. I seen you was like parking lot scam. Oh, first video. Yeah, that parking lot scam was crazy too. That was another one. Apple uses slave labor in China. I know they do. That's why I'm saying they're corrupt pieces of crap too. At least you can tell people you rejected Mickey Mouse. Hells yeah. Sony just released a new phone. I'm tempted to switch from iPhone to that new Sony phone. Yeah, I don't know. Again, the power that they wield is the fact that they've got us hooked into iTunes and all these things, these services that we have to use. And that was very smart of them. They got us hooked. Like that's the drug that we need, and they're the drug dealer. They're smart guys. Where do you get your pics developed? I don't print a lot of them, but usually when I do, it's at White House Custom Color. In Lightroom, yeah. You get a tip on Trump dropping the hammer tomorrow tonight. Your spidey sense tingling. Did I get a tip? No, I don't have any tips on Trump. I just want Trump to pardon Joe Exotic. That's all I want. That's my Christmas Trump list. Please pardon Joe Exotic, just because it would be so hilarious. Was that amusement park truly haunted in West Virginia? Yes, it was. I knew you would laugh at that. Yes, I did, my love. Open to doing workshops once COVID? Absolutely. We're doing those big time. Artanian, Jason says, hello. What's up, my friend? I'm doing a one-on-one training session with Artanian in San Francisco. Well, technically San Jose later this month. That's going to be awesome. Well, it's a good budget camera for landscape photography, A7R2. There wasn't any D class today. Not looking so good. Yeah, I know. I wish he would have declassified everything. I think Trump could have gone out as like the hero of heroes. I was like, if anybody's going to tell us about Area 51 and aliens and all this stuff, it would have been Trump. I was like, come on, Trump, just make this world even more fun. I wish he would have done that. Disney was so crap. Even the family came out to scold the company last month. Yeah. And speaking of crap, Disney said they're going to remain closed until at least April. That's insane. Wow, cool. Yes, I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area too. Well, that's wonderful, Archie. What measures do you take when working as a photographer during COVID? If there's other people around and I feel like I'm a danger to them or they're a danger to me, then I wear a mask. Otherwise, I just act as normal. Because the vast majority of the time, I'm by myself. I can tell you unequivocally that I am very proud of myself for walking around Washington, D.C. with a mask on today as I was walking the empty streets. But I did that because I was cold, and wearing the mask kept my face warm. That's the truth. He don't care about Area 51 and stuff like that. Yeah, I know, but it would have been so much fun. I just would try. I wish Trump would have just gone out with an even bigger bang. Just, hey guys, here's what happened. Here's JFK. Here's everything. It just would have been hilarious. Well, the Monolite 600 you suggested work with the Sony A9. Oh yeah. All right, guys, I've been on for an hour and a half. I love you, and I really appreciate you being here with me. I'm going to have to go. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I have new videos that are going to be coming out. I have to get my booty ready for the Inauguration. So I love you guys. Thanks so much, guys. Until next time, keep shooting, never give up on your dreams. Find a gear that works for you. And remember, you only have one chance to get it right. If you guys want to get some Rotolights, go to rotolight.com/JasonOffers. And if you guys want to potentially win the Titan X1, go to jasonlanier.com/competition and join the competition. All right, guys, talk to you guys later. Good night. Bye-bye.